Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about my postpartum weight loss journey and how I've lost and maintained a 60-pound weight loss. But first, I do want to do an introduction in case anybody's new here. My name is Jordan. I am a wife and stay-at-home mom to my 12-month-old daughter, Layton. I would love to have you subscribe if you are watching this. If you enjoy this, please check out my other videos. But this video I feel like is going to be a lot of information, so kind of want to just jump into it. I do want to go ahead and tell you guys it's not just about a diet plan. It is not about an exercise regimen that I jumped onto. It's not about a multi-level marketing company that approached me. It is about a new mom who felt like she had just lost control of calorie amount, portion control, any sort of activity. It was the bare minimum, and I wanted to be a fit mom for my daughter. So that was kind of what ignited this. I will say when I was 7.5 months-ish pregnant, I got to that point of just being ready to have my body back. But I did get to that point, and I think most moms do, especially if you're carrying in the summer. It was so hot outside, and I was just ready to have her and then get into something to shed the weight because I didn't feel like myself. It's like an out-of-body experience when you have a baby, especially postpartum. You do not look like yourself. You do not feel like yourself. So I just wanted to become strong and fit and healthy and active. So I feel like this video is going to be a little different though, because most of my loss came from becoming mentally healthy, and I suffered from extreme postpartum anxiety. And if I wouldn't have gone to see a counselor and kind of learned why I had so much anxiety, why I had a tendency to binge eat, then I don't think that I would be where I am right now health-wise or fitness-wise. So I'm just gonna go down my list. I have a list on my phone because I feel like this is gonna be pretty long. I don't wanna get off topic a lot. I do have some little stories here and there that I will probably throw in here just to give examples, but I do want to make sure that I stay on topic and that I'm just giving a clear picture of what I went through, because I feel like this could help a lot of people. This is the video that I needed that didn't exist when I searched for it, and so I hope that my transparency will help other moms in the same season, or just other women or men in the same season that have suffered with binge eating disorder, or having to mentally heal yourself before you can physically heal yourself. So the different topics that I'm going to go through: binge eating disorder and why I suffered from that and still do. I still have the tendency, I'm not completely healed. Body dysmorphia, which I feel like goes hand in hand with any sort of weight loss. Going to counseling, finding me time as a mom, creating an Instagram that helped me stay on track, the different exercises that I did, how I started this fitness schedule, and just how my weight loss has kind of gone since I started. So I am going to jump into this. Like I said, it's going to be kind of long, but I want to get started. So like I had mentioned, month 7.5-ish of pregnancy, I started seeking out different YouTube videos because I wanted to find one that really spoke to me and gave me that assurance that postpartum I would be able to maintain a healthy lifestyle and kind of start fresh. It's kind of a scary thought if you're not already active or eating healthy to think, I'm about to have a baby. This is probably going to be the hardest time for me to get on track with healthy eating and also having a fitness schedule, because you now have a tiny life that depends on you. So where am I going to find the time to do this? So I just wanted to know, like, it's possible. And so I sought out YouTube videos and I couldn't find anything that really spoke to me. The closest I found was Erin Williams. Love her channel, beautiful family, and she gave me the idea to use MyFitnessPal. So it wasn't the video that I was looking for, but it did give me little pieces here and there, which I think is really important, and maybe this video will be that for you. Maybe this doesn't completely apply to your life, but you might pick out little pieces to help you along and further your journey. So month 7.5, I started getting really nervous about labor and delivery about 3 weeks before I delivered our baby, and so I started doing these YouTube third trimester workouts in my living room, and I was pretty stuck on those. I did really well with keeping up with those, and I was fine labor and delivery wise. I had the endurance and we had a great labor and delivery experience. So I did that, and then after I was released at 6 weeks, I waited another 2 weeks. We did go on one walk before 8 weeks was when I started this, but we went on that walk and I felt like my organs were just gonna fall out. I don't know if anybody has ever like experienced that, but postpartum, your organs are all shifted inside you. They're not where they're usually at. Your stomach feels like bread dough as it's rising, and you do not feel like yourself at all. So we went for a walk, and I could only make it maybe 0.2 miles and back. I was holding myself together. Like I felt like I just had to hold my stomach. But so that was my first experience with the walk. Obviously I had a lot of work to do, and I just want to give you guys these examples to know I started from the bottom, the absolute bottom. So I had my daughter on July 22nd, 2018. On October 1st, that was the date that I designated for myself to begin this journey, was the day that I took before pictures. I'll insert them here. And I weighed myself postpartum on that date. The day I delivered my baby, I weighed 227 pounds. Postpartum, before I got pregnant, I was 199. I gained 28 pounds. My goal was 20 to 25 with my doctor, so I was close to that. I wasn't super hard on myself, and she was not hard on me either. I am 5'10", by the way, if you want to know that. Sometimes people find that important to know and kind of compare, but please don't compare yourself. So I'm 5'10", I weighed 227 pounds on the day that I delivered my baby, and when I got home from the hospital 2 days later, I weighed, and after fluid loss, blood loss, baby, you know, I weighed 200 and I had lost 12 pounds, whatever the math is on that. I lost 12 pounds the day I got home from the hospital. And then I drank a ton of water, ate whatever was put in front of me, which was mostly fast food or heavier meals, because you're in such a zombie mode that you aren't going to prepare healthy meals. Maybe you are, maybe you're just a complete rock star. That was not me. I endured some different health issues postpartum, so it was a huge blessing that we were provided all these meals and that I could just sit and have it in front of me and eat that. So I wasn't going to be picky about what I was eating at the time. I drank a ton of water and I breastfed exclusively, and as you know, I've read in some mom groups where people say that they didn't lose any weight breastfeeding, but I did lose. I think the important thing in that is to eat healthy calories. I think people get discouraged because they think, oh, breastfeeding burns a ton of calories, which it does. It increases your metabolic rate. And people think that, well, I can eat burgers and fries, pizza, and you are burning calories, but think about if you transform those into healthy calories and you still maintain that calorie amount, your body is going to look way different. So obviously in the beginning I wasn't eating that way. I still lost some weight, drank a ton of water, and by October 1st, my starting date, I weighed 200 pounds. So I had lost basically what I had gained during pregnancy by that start date, and that does not mean that I had any sort of muscle. I still looked like a stranger. I had weight sitting on me that just did not feel right, and I was ready to just start on a plan and get it in gear. So my husband took some before pictures. He encouraged me to take some in sports bra, and I just did not feel comfortable at the time. Looking back, I so wish that I would have. So if you're starting a journey, then take them, keep them for yourself. Don't post them if you don't want to, but I do wish that I had some like that to compare. So I will, like I said, I inserted those before pictures so you can see my starting point. And on October 1st, my goal was to walk 30 miles in 31 days. So the month of October, that was my goal, walk 30 miles. I couldn't walk past 0.3 miles when I first started that plan. That was all I could do, and that's where I started. One big thing that I want to say and encourage you guys is everyone can do something. If you can't walk or you can't take the stairs, then can you sit and do arm circles like this? Can you replace half of your fries with veggies? Can you replace a soda a day with water? Yes, you can. And I am speaking to myself when I say this because I have always been an all or nothing type of person. Like I said, I have struggled with binge eating disorder my entire life. And to get into that just a little bit, it's not going to be a huge focus of this, but I will say that it is a huge part of my personal story. The reason why I have a binge eating tendency, and I learned this on a podcast, listening to a podcast called the Half Size Me podcast. I'll put that in the description bar below. A lady was describing her binge eating disorder, and it connected with me in a way that I had never heard it explained before. So she was such a people pleaser, which I have been my entire life. I will not transform my personality, but become in a way what everyone else around me needs so that they're their best self and that they're happy. And while I think that pieces of that can be good, you end up giving most of yourself to other people. You're exhausted and you don't have any part of your life that is really yours at the end of the day. So binge eating was always my mess, my part of being messy in my life, where I could be imperfect and there was a comfort in that. And if you have a binge eating disorder, it probably looks different than mine. Maybe not, maybe this really speaks to you, but mine looked like having $5 in my wallet and knowing that I could go to Taco Bell and it wouldn't show up on my receipt, on my bill statement, so my husband couldn't see. It would look like going to Walmart and getting a piece of cake from the bakery and eating it really, really fast. It would look like having a craving that, you all know, if you have this, it is more than a craving. It is, I need the texture, I need the taste, I need just the motion, honestly, of going through the drive-through and knowing that you have it in your possession. This may sound crazy to a lot of you, and you may be like, I never knew she had that, but it's an addiction just like any other. It's an addiction just like alcoholism, drugs, pornography, any sort of addiction. It may look different, but that is what it is. So that's what I've dealt with almost my entire life. So a big part of this was healing myself mentally. Like I said, I went to a counselor. We really didn't have a huge focus on binge eating disorder, but we did talk about why I felt like I didn't deserve to feel good. And I'm not going to get into all of that in this video. I think it would be really, really long. I don't know that I'm really there to share that yet, but if you're struggling with this, I want you to think about that. Maybe journal. If you can see a therapist, do it. It's not crazy. You're not crazy if you have to see a therapist. It's so helpful. Just find out why you don't feel like you deserve to feel really good. Try to get to the bottom of that. So I started my journey, like I said, October 1st. I set a 30 miles in 31 day goal, knocked it out of the park. It really brought me out of a postpartum anxiety by getting outside and getting fresh air with my baby. I was able to keep her covered. If you have postpartum anxiety, it can be incredibly scary to take your baby out into the world where you feel almost helpless and maybe you feel like you can't get the words out to tell people, please don't touch my child. This is a good foot in the door of getting outside of that and kind of punching anxiety in the face. Keep your baby covered in her car seat. If she's a newborn, she can still fit in those. It was really cold out. I wouldn't go below 42 degrees was my limit, and now it's 90 degrees. I will not go, honestly, like 87. I won't go above that. So I have a little limit there. There were days I did DVDs instead just to switch it up. And there were nights that I went to the gym at our apartment complex while my husband kept Layton so that I could kind of get outside and get a breath of fresh air in that way as well. And that was really good for my anxiety too, to step away and not have a baby on top of me 24/7. So I really encourage you though to get fresh air. If you're a new mom and struggling with anxiety, call a friend, call your mom, call your sister, anybody if you need someone to walk with. If you see other moms on the trail, say hi. Just a smile can help you boost your attitude and your mood so much and battle any sort of depression or anxiety. If they stop to talk to you, ask them, how old is your little one? That's a good entryway into a conversation. And maybe ask them how often they walk there. It's really easy to strike up a conversation with a new mom, and they probably crave that conversation just as much as you are. So I have met other moms while walking. It is great. It is a mood boost, and everyone's always really friendly. So knocked that goal out of the park. Diet wise, I've always been all or nothing. So if I fail at all in my diet, then I feel like it's game over. This time I didn't have that option. I did beat myself up over a grilled chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. That's how mentally just wrong I was in terms of navigating diet and nutrition. Now nothing is off limits. Like I said, I've maintained 61 pounds lost over the past 10.5 months. So obviously I'm doing something right with that. Everything is available. I watch portions, I drink a ton of water, I substitute vegetables where I can. Now we have like zucchini lasagna instead of real lasagna, or we have lean ground turkey instead of ground beef, or just little substitutions like that, and we roast veggies a lot. So I have learned different tactics along the way to kind of keep me on track but still feel like I'm not depriving myself, and my husband has benefited as well. He feels really good too. I've kept up the walking over the past 10.5 months, and really guys, I know that when you're eagerly searching for an answer to weight loss, it wouldn't be such a huge thing in society to lose weight or to buy these programs or to hire a coach or to spend all of this money on different supplements and things if it wasn't just a huge problem. You do not need all of that. And I'm not bashing. I have tons of friends that sell these things, and I know that their intention is to help people and provide for their family. I am not bashing that. But if you are that mom at home or just that person at home that feels like, well, I don't have the money to start a program, so I guess I can't start, that is not true. It is not in our budget to order anything like that, and it's not in our budget to have a gym membership. I made do. I sought out a friend that lived in the area, had mom conversation, which was so refreshing. It was scary to reach out, but we're still walking to this day together, and it's been incredible. Our babies are near the same age, so if you need a buddy, just know it's okay if they say no, because it may not be their season, but reach out. I think you're gonna feel better just knowing that you did that, and you'll have a little boost of confidence. So I have a buddy that I walk with. Really, my weight loss has been pinned to walking, and now I'm up to I could walk a little over 4 miles now, and we do that probably 5 times a week. I'm a stay-at-home mom, like I said, so I have the time and the availability to do that, but maybe your exercise looks like putting your baby in a gym daycare and getting an hour in at the gym. So I walked all of October. That really set a fire under me to sign up for a 5K, which was so intimidating to me. I had signed up for some previously in my past, never showed up to do them because I was so scared just of all these different things that I think I just psyched myself up, and it was just an unhealthy obsession of what could go wrong. So my husband did the first one with me, which was incredible support. We had a blast, and I've done 2 since then with my friend that I walk with, and that's been a really good kind of end goal for me. I mentioned in the beginning of this that I had an Instagram that I started. That was a huge tool for navigating this as well, and I met a lot of other moms through that. I met moms who had trouble eating enough because of anxiety, and other binge eating moms that really opened this up for me to be vulnerable, because I've seen it talked about so much now that I don't feel crazy, and I don't feel like no one's gonna understand. I feel like this is needed to talk about. And so nutrition wise, kind of skipped over this, sorry guys. I started by using MyFitnessPal. It is a free app on your phone. I plugged in every single thing that I ate, and I know that sounds obsessive, and honestly it probably could be, but I think because I was so out of control with calories and portions that I needed to see it in front of me what I was eating. And so I started by giving myself the goal of 1,800 calories. That was just a shot in the dark. I just chose that number. Talk to your doctor if you're unsure of what your calorie amount should be. Like I said, I exclusively breastfeed even now, and so I learned pretty quickly that that was not enough calories for me, and I bumped myself back up to 2,000 calories a day of healthy calories, and that was with walking and also with nursing my baby. My first doctor's appointment back after the 6-week appointment with my doctor, she went in and she was like, "You've lost like 40 pounds. And I think she was concerned depression wise, because that is a sign of depression to lose that much weight. But I was like, I feel amazing. This has become my me time. I'm losing at a really good rate, just slowly, and just feeling really good. And my digestive tract is on par like it's never been before. And so I feel wonderful." And she was very encouraging. She was like, you know, if there's a time to weigh a little more, obviously in a healthy range, it's now, so you can nurse your baby and provide. But if you're not losing your milk supply, then by all means keep this up. And I haven't lost my milk supply It's supply and demand. So if you are concerned about that, just slow loss, tons of water. I've seen oats. I didn't eat anything particular to maintain my supply. I just ate enough. And she nurses a lot. It's her soothing thing. So supply and demand, and you will maintain your supply. See a lactation consultant if you're really concerned, but I encourage you, if you are waiting to lose weight while you're breastfeeding, that's obviously completely up to you, but it's not a deciding factor in how your supply is going to be. So MyFitnessPal, that first 31 days of October, I was very strict, and then after that, I just kind of learned what worked for me, what foods, the calorie amount and the foods that I like to eat, and I kind of transformed the foods we were eating with healthier options and introduced a lot more fruit and vegetables. 400 degrees on your oven, throw some cauliflower and broccoli, season it with garlic powder, maybe salt and pepper if you're into that. Throw it in the oven at 400 for 20 minutes. Oh, and toss with olive oil. It is delicious, and that was something that became a staple for us early on, just kind of not doing as many starchy carbs and letting us learn how to cook vegetables in a way that we really enjoyed. So we transformed what we were eating, and I used MyFitnessPal, and then I slowly stopped using it. There was a point during this journey that I reintroduced it, and I just needed to reel myself back in. I'm actually this week getting our grocery list ready, and it's going to be a reel it back in grocery list because we have been eating whatever we want, like I said, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Definitely keep your vegetables and your lean meats and your fruits at the forefront of your diet, but if it's summertime and you're enjoying it with your family, don't deprive yourself. Enjoy your life. I call it live your life meals, not cheat meals, because you're not cheating, you're doing great. Just live your life, but also keep in mind you want to feel good. And I haven't been feeling my best, so actually this week we're kind of rebooting and getting some healthy meal options together. Another thing about groceries, we shop exclusively at Aldi unless for some reason they don't have something that we need, then we'll go to the neighborhood market or Walmart. Aldi is so good on prices. You can check their weekly ads and know that strawberries, blueberries, different cuts of meat are on sale, and know ahead of time so you can prepare for your week. We go there once a week and we just stock up, and it is very rare that we pay more than $90 to $100 a week on groceries, and that's my husband and I, and then my baby is also on solids now, so we get a lot of fruits and veggies and meat so that we can prepare in a healthy way for each week. So I encourage you, if your grocery budget isn't very big, really look at those Aldi deals. It will blow your mind how little you spend. Take a quarter, take bags with you. You don't want to forget those. I have many times. It is frustrating, especially that quarter. Make sure you just keep one in your console in your car, maybe a couple just in case. And you don't want to forget those because you will be carrying everything. So during this journey, fitness wise, I did plug into a few mom groups. I went to 2 different workouts, Fit for Mom. I think it's a universal fitness thing called Stroller Strides. And my friend and I did that. We didn't feel like we needed that group to for a good workout because we did pretty good workouts on our own, but the community was great. I think if you went on your area Facebook type page for moms, you could plug in there, hey, I want to start walking, I want to start working out. Will any of you be interested in meeting me at this park, a public place? Do some lunges and some squats and some abs, put your babies in their strollers and get that community and fellowship that you're craving. I almost guarantee, I don't want to say I guarantee it, but I think there would be so many moms in all different areas that would be interested in something like that are craving that community that they don't have, or someone to be like, you're not crazy, I experienced that this week, it is so hard. No, they're not understanding because they haven't had kids in 30 years, or no, they're not understanding because they're a man, or no, you know, and not to bash any of those people, but just to have someone on your level that really gets it in those stages that you're just like, will I ever get out of this? So I encourage you to step out and really look into those different things. If you have the money and you want to join a Fit for Mom type program, then I think that's incredible too. I've noticed that they're very close knit, and I think that that would be great. So I feel like in a roundabout way that kind of answered where I started. I walked 30 miles in 31 days. I have maintained walking since then. That has looked like maybe stop and do some abs every now and then. It has looked like DVDs on rainy days while my baby screams at me from her high chair eating a banana. That's another thing. Your baby will probably get very fussy on your walks. Your baby will probably get very fussy if you work out in the living room and you're not paying undivided attention to them. Let them cry. It is okay. Make sure they're safe and comfortable. Give them a snack, give them their water or milk or whatever. Take that time for yourself. Put some little earphones in if the screaming is too much, and turn your volume up or just blast some music. I stop every now and then, like do the baby shark dance with her, and I just make it work, but know that that little piece of time, they're gonna be okay. That was really hard for me to not give in and just stop and pick her up. I did that a lot in the beginning, but learned that that little 20 to 30 minute workout, even an hour, 4% of your day. Just make it about yourself. It's okay. You're not a bad mom. You're an incredible mom. You need that time and you need your sanity. So know that that is okay. So I started walking, and then I needed a little bit more of a challenge. My friend Kim introduced me to interval running. I am not a runner. I've always been kind of interested in it. In college, I dabbled in it, and I was just in a very unhealthy mind space in college, to where it was more of an anorexia workout to the point where my body hurts physically, sleep all day, and then that's only because I didn't want to eat. And that was a short-lived stint my sophomore year of college. I weighed 152 pounds, which again, I'm 5'2". That was 5'10". That was very, very small for my frame. Yes, I was smaller then, but I want to tell you guys where I am now mentally. Looking back on that, yes, I was small. My clothes fit incredibly. I looked really good on the outside. Mentally, I was a mess. I was sick. I don't know another word for it. I would never in a million years wish to be that person, even though I was a smaller body, because mentally I was so far gone and in such an unhealthy place that I would never want to revisit that. Now, I still, like I said, have the tendency to binge eat on really hard days when I'm stressed, on the days that Leighton doesn't sleep through the night and I am so exhausted, and I know that I have until 5:15 when my husband gets home and walks through the door before I can just take a breather, or I haven't been able to put her down, or she's clinging to me, or her nails scratch me. You know that feeling where you're just so tired, you haven't showered, you smell bad, your friends cancel, or something like that, where I want a donut or I want Taco Bell. That is my first thought in most of those situations, just being completely transparent. If I have cookies, I'll eat 12 of them. If I have any sort of icing, I'll eat it out of the tub. That is just like a way to comfort myself and to dull those out of control feelings. The problem is, after you're finished with that blackout moment of eating all of that, you feel more out of control and convicted and disgusting than you would have if you wouldn't have done that. My pastor just preached on this. Conviction is from the Holy Spirit. So obviously the Lord wants what's best for you. He wants you to feel your best. That's how He intended our bodies to be. I condemn myself when I eat that way. I know that the Lord loves me no matter what, and it is completely my own shame and guilt that I feel. The transformation in myself has been, I now, after a few bites, because again, I will give into it, I will think to myself, do I want to feel bad? Because this is going to throw off my digestive tract. This is going to make me lethargic. This is going to maybe give me extreme stomach cramps, and I won't have the availability as a stay-at-home mom to be in the bathroom all day. Do I want to set myself up for failure this weekend when my stomach is still upset and we can't go out and do things as a family on the day that my husband has off? Do I want to do that to myself? Whereas before, I would have never ever stopped and thought those things to myself. I would have just given in 110% and dealt with the consequences later. So that's the transformation that has happened. And I think that that has come from becoming very aware of why I have that tendency and why I haven't in the past felt like I was worthy of feeling good. So that's another encouragement to you, to seek a counselor or just start journaling and really take note of the habits that you have and why you may have them. I do think after going through all of this that, I think I mentioned this in the beginning of this video, that I wouldn't be where I am on the exterior if I wouldn't have dealt with the interior first. So I would rather have this be a 6-year-long process of loss and to be on a healthy page mentally than have it be an abrupt loss and still feel so icky and out of control on the inside. So if you're enduring a slow journey, you're still on this journey and you're still making progress, and healing those trauma wounds or whatever you have in your past that only you know about, that you're trying to get in order before you progress, know that you're still on the journey and you're on the right page. So this video, obviously, like I said, is postpartum. However, I am by no means a specialist in like pelvic floor exercises or knowing what's best for your body postpartum. I'm going to put some different Instagram handles down below in the description bar for you to check out, and they are specialists in that area. So if you need to strengthen that area, which I do need to start doing that, I need to really work on my core and my back. And that's kind of the next season I feel like that's going to take place in my health journey, is really working on strength and muscle. I'm getting really interested in that, whereas this whole time it's kind of been cardio based and interval running of just running 30 seconds, walking 1.5 to 2 minutes, catching my breath in that, and then continuing on. That's how I do my 5Ks, and that feels incredible. But there are times where, like now I'm on the floor, my posture could be so much better. My back has pain issues that I've definitely dealt with along this journey of walking so many miles. And so that is something that I am looking into now, of getting dumbbells, really working on some different ab exercises of making sure that they're friendly to postpartum and making sure that I don't mess anything up long term in my body. So like I said, I am not an expert in that by any means, but definitely seek out a trainer if you need it, or an online help resource, your doctor, to get those different exercises to strengthen those areas. Okay, so it took me a really long time to film this. I'm going to say that I probably forgot several different things while filming this, but they are going to be in the description bar. If I've forgotten anything, they're going to be different links. I'll reiterate the MyFitnessPal, things like that I've listed along the way. And I don't know, I think it took me a long time because I feel like it's been 10.5 months. I've gone through so much in that amount of time that I feel like I can't truly put it all in this video, and I want this video to just be the video that I needed for someone else, if that makes sense. So I hope that this video really hit it home with you, and that you can take at least a piece of it and apply it to your own life, or it encourages you in some way. And I'm excited to post it, guys. I don't know if this will turn into a sort of series, and maybe I'll do some recipes that, I would love to do that, some recipes that I've learned to cook along the way that have helped us stay on track. Or maybe I would do a workout video, but most likely it's going to be my baby and I walking 4 miles. So, and maybe if I learn some different core exercises, I'll share those. But I hope this video is just good for someone. That's my goal. I hope it's the video that someone needs. I am going to get off here. Like I said, it's probably a very long video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.